Hi, my name is Joe Hornet, and I'm the Vice President and Chief Financial Officer for Franklin College. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this session today, done via the internet, or at least in an online fashion, because of the coronavirus crisis that we've all been experiencing now for weeks and weeks, although it even seems longer than that. So welcome, and this session is called Dollars and Cents, and I hope to not only pass along information that is relevant to you as incoming students and parents to Franklin College, but also pass along things that I've learned myself as a parent of 3 college graduates, as well as my own personal experience. So again, welcome. You're going to find that I'm somewhat different, and I have no idea how many online presentations you've seen, but I thought we would start with a little diversion and go back to this film clip. So please pay attention.
And when you went bad, you cut these guys loose. Your Honor, you had markets inside of money transfer. Your Honor, you doctored the logbook. You coerced the doc.
Consider yourself in contempt.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know, that Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives, and my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these words as the backbone of a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to. Did you order the code red? I did the job. Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did!
Well, you're here because you can handle the truth. And I don't know whether or not you need me in that vault, you want me in that vault, but today you're here also because you can handle the truth. And that's what you're going to get. Facts about Franklin College and the financial obligations that go along with college attendance. In the coming year that you're entering the college, tuition is set at $32,770. Room and board is set at $9,804. Books and supplies, depending on your major and the classes that you're taking for the entire year, will be somewhere between $1,000 and $1,200. And then again, depending on courses that you may take, particularly if you're in the sciences, the fees will vary. But generally speaking, a couple $100 on top of that. Beyond that, you have to be comfortable at college. And this is maybe usually one of the surprising things about parents, but equipment and materials for the room are all important because this is your home away from home, and it is where your students will be living, and they need to be comfortable because there is work ahead. And of course, during the year, there's travel and other incidentals that go along. Just so you know too, payments to Franklin College are generally due around August the 15th and January the 15th of every year. So keep those dates in mind. This is often overlooked. College is an expensive proposition. There is no question about that. But the best form of financial aid, mom and dad especially, and even students, is 4 and no more. In other words, finish your degree in 4 years. Our curriculum is designed to graduate you in 4 years. But nationally, only 19 to 36% of students entering college as a freshman will complete their degree in 4 years. It's increasingly common for students to take up to 6 years to obtain a 4-year degree. In fact, when you wind up hearing graduation rates on a national level, in most cases, those are being quoted over a 6-year period of time. But keep in mind that students who graduate on time save an average of 40% versus what has become very common, their 6-year counterparts. So what are the factors that impact on-time graduation? Number one, lack of clear plan or advising. The plan on one hand is something that is usually personal to the student. The advising is something that is an institutional obligation. And I can tell you, I think advising at Franklin College is something that we excel at. Secondly, it's not uncommon for a student to start out and somewhere along the line decide to change majors. Again, mom, dad, and students, the sooner you really do settle on a major, the better, because there are no wasted courses in that regard. Third is a change of schools. Anytime you change schools, some of your credits will travel with you, but a large majority will not. So it does represent a true step backwards. And then lastly, unnecessary courses taken. Again, stick to your plan, stick to the courses that are necessary, and keep that 4-year goal online. This, again, is truly the best form of financial aid and reducing the cost of attendance that you can possibly have in your wheelhouse and total control over. So here's a couple of new vocabulary words, particularly for parents. FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. You've probably already filled one of these out, and you will be required to fill this out annually, because this is how your financial aid at Franklin College is actually figured. So again, this has become much easier because now in most cases, information is taken directly from your tax returns. But please keep in mind the deadlines that are set by the federal government every year, because again, this determines the aid that is applied to the cost of attendance at Franklin College. FERPA, the Family Educational Privacy Act. Now, mom and dad, this is one that if we wind up having encounters with parents that are difficult at times, it's when a mom or dad calls up and says, I want to know how my student is doing in class, or I want to know what my student's balance is. And this is where usually the encounters are the most difficult, is in a business office encounter, the mother or father, the parent calls up and says, I do want to know a balance and what we can do about it. And unless the student has actually allowed access to his or her records and they are over 18 years old, Franklin College by federal law is not allowed to provide you any information whatsoever. And it's something that the federal government is dead serious about, and we comply with this fully. So again, mom and dad, if you want to be able to get information, it is something that your student needs to grant to you. The Student Account Center is an online experience. Your student will actually receive a message from Franklin College to register. Don't overlook this message, and don't wait to register until you actually get to campus. When you get the message, please go ahead and register right away. This provides you account summary data, account activity. It provides you with statements and available payment options. This is how you can enroll in the tuition management system and actually pay for college on a monthly basis. But again, the last point goes back to the previous slide. Student, you must share account access with your parents if you want them to be able to monitor this along with you. At some point, it's not unusual for a college student in Franklin to hear about the dreaded business office hold. This occurs when there is a balance on a student's account in excess of $500. The result is the student is not allowed to register for next semester's classes until this balance is settled. But, and this is a big but, a hold like this should never occur. If you've ever watched the movie The Godfather, Mr. Corleone has an attorney that works for him. And at one point in the movie, he tells another gentleman, Mr. Corleone is a man who insists on hearing bad news immediately. This is exactly true of the business office. Again, it's not unusual to have a balance, but just as in life, If you're running behind in terms of making your statements current, usually a simple phone call to the business office explaining the circumstances is enough to make sure that a hold is not placed on your account and your journey through the remainder of college remains free of road bumps. So again, if you know you've got a balance, if you know there's going to be a late payment, make the call to the business office and just explain the circumstances. That's all it takes. Another piece of advice that I would give you on the financial side of things, but also just in the classroom, don't be a stranger. There really is a Franklin family here at Franklin College. In good times and bad, you need to make yourself known. People respond to people, not names on a page. Keep that in mind. Make sure your instructors know. Make friends. Make sure that people in your residence hall know you. Make sure the dining hall manager knows you. You're going to be here 4 years. Again, this is your community. This is your family. Do not be a stranger. In fact, today I'd like to even give you a challenge. By the time you graduate, it would not be unreasonable to expect that you will know the name of everyone, literally, on campus, everyone. And this includes the groundskeeper that you see raking leaves or mowing the lawn. It includes the people working behind the counter in the dining hall. Again, the entire Franklin family. This is not a large place. One of the beauties of this place is the intimacy and the relationships that you will form here. So you should know the people that you're with. Don't be a stranger, because it does pay off in many, many positive ways. There are 2 people that you should come to know. This is one of them, James Vincent Dunn. He's the Director of Financial Aid. You're actually going to hear presentations from him, or have already heard presentations from him, but Vinny, and that's all you'll need to know about him. This is Vinny. Any questions about financial aid, again, this is a person that you should know, and he should know you. Vinny is one of your most trusted allies, especially when it comes to financial aid at Franklin College. Secondly, if you're an incoming female co-ed here at Franklin College and happen to play softball, you may know this man as Coach. Otherwise, this is Brad Jones. He is the director of the Franklin College Business Office. This is the gentleman that if you are behind on your bill, and again, you don't want to find yourself in a business office hold, a call to Brad will wind up working all kinds of miracles. So get to know this face, get to know Brad, and get to know the people that actually do staff the business office. Just miscellaneous information. Checks can be cashed in the business office. There's a $75 a day limit. We have an ATM located on campus in the atrium of the Neapolitan Student Center. If you work on campus, tax forms are maintained in the business office in Old Main. Keep in mind that external aid and scholarships are applied when and as received. So in other words, if you've been told that you're going to get a scholarship from an organization in your hometown, don't be under the assumption that the college has already received that money just because you've gotten an award letter. Again, these funds will be applied when the college actually receives these. A credit balance does not mean a refund is immediately available. Again, usually things settle at the end of semester because dollars and cents move in and out of accounts. So if you have a credit balance, go ahead and inquire about it, but don't necessarily expect a refund right away. Meal plans can be changed only during the first 10 days of each semester. After that, they're locked. So if you do want to change your plan, keep in mind the 10-day limit. Also, work study, if you're on the work study program, yields pay, not a billing credit. So again, mom and dad, parents, pay is being given to your student who's in a work study program. This is not a billing credit that gets applied. If that is the expectation, you need to make sure that that's carried through on. But we actually do pay the students. And lastly, the student ID card is what we also call One Card. It does all kinds of things at Franklin College. It's like a local credit card. and it can be reloaded and credit transferred through the business office at any time. So finally, what I really want to tell you is welcome to Franklin College. We're really glad you're here. Again, Franklin College is a family. We hope you find that out, and we wish you every success during your 4 years here, and we look forward to getting to know you.